All right, we are now recording, and this is our God's Money team meeting, our training meeting for Thursday night. And we have a special guest with us tonight, Mr. Tim Smallbrecht. Tim is our Director of Field Services. He'll be speaking to us shortly. But before we get started and I turn it over to him, let me get this out of the way. Uh, I am a financial advisor. I am not a wealth strategist. The information that's shared here tonight is not intended to be uh, financial advice or tax advice. For that type of information, we advise you to see your investment specialist or your tax specialist that handles those things for you. We talk here about physical assets, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and even real estate. We talk about securing your financial future with physical assets. Okay, so that is out of the way. And with that said, Tim, if you will, tell us a little bit about you and just jump in there, feel free, and I'm going to turn it over to you for a few moments.
Thank you, Prentice. So I'm at a family function, so you may hear family members running around in the background. Forgive me. We had a basketball game, and this is the after party. But I wanted to say I've been with 7K now 3 years, and I am so pleased to be a part of this. I've been a professional for well over 20 years, and this is the most professionally satisfying job I've ever had because we are giving people knowledge they desperately need, and we are helping other people help others. Helping people help people and teaching people knowledge they desperately need is a beautiful thing. Knowledge that I'm so grateful that I have. One of the first things I learned that really got my attention was what is fiat currency. And if you guys haven't seen that, watch that 90-second video that explains what fiat currency is, because and use that to people learn what fiat currency is. You can't unlearn it. It haunts you. You start thinking about it, and every time you think what you think you're saving, it'll really get you. And that's a powerful tool. But so I love what I'm doing. The new comp plan is fantastic. There's a lot of people really excited about it. People know they need to do their money. People know that people are hearing about gold and silver more and more, and simply saying, "Hey, what do you know about gold and silver?" At a peak interest, because they'll know a little or they'll know something, and you can start a conversation with them. And people are open to that conversation now in ways that even just a few years ago. And so, doing this work, it's timely. People are ready. People are ready to listen. People are ready to talk about it. As I travel around, and I've been traveling quite a bit. I need to get down there to do a meeting with you, Prentice, and we'll talk about that. But as I've been traveling around, people are really responding to the idea of saving something that's real, saving something that when you need it, it hasn't been slowly degrading like fiat currency. It's been holding its value or even increasing its value. And people are really, really responding to the idea of save. In a time when people have less money to save, they care more about it being real, about saving something that's really going to be there. And so that's really resonating. Our message is resonating. People are getting into momentum. You're doing tremendous work yourself, Prentice, and your team. This is a good time. If there's anybody on this call who hasn't shared 7K, or there's someone they know that they're hesitant to talk to it about, there is no reason to wait. There's no reason to be hesitant. The time is right now. It is. It's going to happen with or without you. Somebody else is going to teach them something, because people are so hungry for knowledge. Let's make sure that we're filling that void, and we're teaching them truth. We're teaching them good things. There's a lot of bamboozlement happening right now because folks are really open. They're looking for something. They want knowledge. They want to do something different than what they've been doing. And we need to be a part of that conversation. So let's open our mouths. Let's talk to those people there's somebody in the back of your mind you've been thinking about sharing with. Don't wait. Just talk to them. What we have is truly changing people's lives. I can't hear you. You're muted, Prentice. Prentice,
I
you're muted.
apologize. I apologize. I forget to do that. Thank you so much, Tim. I muted myself so you didn't hear my chair squeaking so much. I've got a squeaky chair here. That's a grandpa chair.
Okay.
All right. So,
Yeah. Hey, Prentice, I've seen you paddle a kayak. You don't move like a grandpa, brother.
yeah, I don't think most of the people on this call have seen me in a kayak. You are one of those rare people that see me in I guess my true form. So yeah, I don't do bad for 73.
Yeah, I've seen you in your natural habitat. Yeah.
See me on the
Yeah,
wall.
that's cool.
So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a teaser in case you have to drop off, Tim. So we have a special event coming up January the 11th of next year, and I will be hosting our team meeting here at our kickoff for 2025 in the beautiful town of Gulf Breeze, Florida. And what is so great about it,
Oh, that's awesome.
the place I have reserved, and I'm working on getting reserved at us, is right next door to a place called Lilo's. It's a conference room. It's on the Pensacola Bay. You're only 3 miles from downtown Pensacola. After the meeting, if you want to go in there and see the sights and sounds, you're welcome to. Or else you can walk off the patio of Lilo's onto the beach at the bay, or only a short car drive of 2.5 miles across the Bay Bridge onto Pensacola Island and Pensacola Beach. So it's going to be a wonderful venue, a wonderful place. We'll have it set up there for the morning, and we'll be ready for our corporate team to be hosting this for us. And it will be a live Zoom hosted meeting by corporate. Tim, I hope you're going to be part of that meeting, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that.
It's going to be a tremendous meeting. And all I'm going to say about it is get on it, be there. Prentice, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for hosting a meeting. Let me tell you, will I see you at the getaway?
Yes.
Will you be there?
Yes, I'll be there.
Well, when we're at the getaway, let's talk about early March. Let's let your team right now on this call understand that they need to invite everyone they can to that January 11th meeting. Bring all your friends, and let's build something. And then expose as many people as you can January 11th. Prentice and I will put our heads together at the getaway in Mexico, and we will plan something for early March. I will be back to the same venue, standing shoulder to shoulder with the Wileys, and we will carry on. So let's get as many people exposed January 11th as we can, and let's build toward that early March meeting. How does that sound, Prentice?
Sounds like a game plan, Tim. Looking forward to meeting up with
Let's
you.
do it, brother.
And another thing too, we are geographically positioned in the right place, because any teams or team members that are in the state of Southern Mississippi, Southern Alabama, Georgia, or Northwest Florida, we're all within an hour or two driving distance. So it's not very far. You can be in Gulfport, Mississippi within 2.5 hours, or you can be halfway up the state of Georgia or Alabama in the same amount of time. So we're right here in the northwest corner of Florida, right by the beautiful city of Pensacola. So we're in a great place. And like Tim says, bring your friends. Uh, we will be talking a little more in our meetings about it as we go along. There may be something like a $10 cover charge for members only. Guests, there will be no fee for them. Your guests will be free. So bring as many as you can. Now, you want to get in early, and because we have limited seating, you want to get in there because I'm a member of the Gulf Coast Patriots Club, and I already have word from the secretary of the club that a lot of those members are wanting to be there as guests to learn about this gold and silver. It's like Tim is saying, right now the time is right. The time is right. People are paying attention to what is happening to the fiat dollar. And one of the things that I bring up every day when I talk to people is that I know this may not be the most pleasant analogy, but if you're crashing a plane and that plane gets 30 foot off the ground, you're not going to recover it, right? Well, that American dollar is worth 3 cents now. That means that it's lost 37%, I'm at 97% of its value. You're not going to turn that plane. You're not going to turn that plane. Now, you can hold it off a while, but you're not going to turn that plane. So right now, people are starting to realize that, and now's the time to start investing in physical assets, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, real estate, things that's going to secure your future, your legacy, and your wealth. Okay? Yeah, and I see them speaking to you.
Ernest, I got a car full of kids. I got to take off.
All right, brother.
Brother,
We
I appreciate your time. Thank you for letting me join you. And I'll be back. Take
All
care.
right.
Thanks, Tim.
See y'all.
All right, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I told y'all I had a surprise for y'all tonight, and that was Mr. Tim Smallbreck. He is the Director of Field Services for 7K Metals. So now let's get into our regular meeting. I've had several conversations today, and one of the conversations I had with a lady was, and I will be talking with her shortly after this meeting and signing her up, is that I don't have a lot of money right now to invest. And she had been talking to investors, that require minimums, or she thought that maybe she had to buy like a 1 ounce gold coin right now, which, people don't have that kind of money in today's climate with today's economy to buy gold or silver. But we at 7K, we have the answer. You can buy fractional. You can buy for under $10 with constitutional gold and silver. You can buy fractional in the Sound Money wallet. You can buy fractional and have it sent to you in your possession. All of these things are possible through us and through the education that we have. So why not do it? Now, today, my wife gave me a little bit of a surprise. We are a bit of stackers, right? So we love our coin collecting. When I first got into this, that wasn't my intent. I got the coin of the month, as Toto calls it, or the auto saver. I knew it was an offensive strategy. I was learning. We had dabbled in gold and silver slightly, but in a different form, the wife and I had. But once I started getting educated and taking advantage of these courses, I learned more and more. And then I got to getting a few collectible coins and got bit by the collectible bug. So now we're pretty heavy stackers when it comes to our numismatics coins. So we have a strategy that we use to where when we find coins that we think are going to be coins that earn a good dividend or revenue or return on our investment, we will buy multiple coins of that. And it takes time to get there. I mean, you don't go out the first year and be able to do it, right? But you can always use those loyalty points and get those free coins. Or you can get the coin drops, which those coins will have instant equity. If you attend some of our meetings, our 7K events, you can actually win free gold and silver. And I was speaking with Anthony. I see Anthony on here this afternoon. Yeah, I see your comment, Anthony. It does. But my wife told me today, I'd walked into the kitchen to refill my coffee cup, and she says, "Hey," said, "I just went through our stack, and I took the coins that there was a few of them that were duplicate coins that we had either got free coins or stuff that we just wasn't really interested in, the stuff that we knew that it had value, but it wasn't the stuff that we were really working on. And I listed it today at market value. Now, that's not collector's value, that's market value, which is below the collection value of it, right? And she says, guess what we will have if we sell it at market value for a profit margin? I said, I have no idea, baby. I said, how long are you going back with these coins? She said, about 2 years. Now, this isn't my full collection. This is just a portion of stuff that was extras. $18,000 plus. It doesn't take long. It is truly an offensive strategy. Those collectible coins, if you study that collector certification training and you can learn what, how, and when to buy those coins, there is a profit to be made in collectible coins. And if you don't want to sell them, just sit on them. They are wealth for your future. They are a true offensive strategy asset. Okay. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Now, let's talk a little bit about gold and silver prices. How many on the call seen the post that I put on our Telegram page about just one of the sources that I look at and the prices that they are predicting up to 2030, the year 2030 for silver prices? Excuse me. How many people seen that? Okay. Don't everybody speak up at the same time.
Okay.
Jerry, was that you?
I saw. Yes.
I'm sorry, you get about a syllable in and it goes mute. Try it again.
Yes, it was me.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of freeze up too.
Yeah, it's telling me
So
that internet connection is having a little issue tonight. I apologize for that. So what was the top price, Jerry, that you seen in the year 2030 for 1 ounce of silver? Do you remember?
$82, if I remember,
You're close. You're
for
close.
2030.
2030, $87, I think. Hold on, let me see.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's 2027 was 77 and 2030 was 82.
82. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected. But $82 an ounce. So right now, why are you not buying you some $30 coins or $20 coins, $25 coins?
The only reason I wouldn't be is if I just didn't have the extra money.
That's it. Dead broke, right? Just don't go.
Right.
Yeah, don't go to McDonald's this week. You can afford it because you can't walk out of McDonald's for under $20 nowadays.
Well, with my auto savers, that is like paying my utility bill. So I just, as long as I got that covered, I'm happy.
There we go. All right. So there's a guy out there that is somebody other than me that is bald, and he calls himself the bald guy. Okay. And he talks about gold and silver. That's what he did. And I'm going to play y'all just a little slight excerpt on a video I was watching from him today. So give me just a moment here to do a screen share. And I want to see if I can get to that. All righty. So are y'all seeing my screen now? Should be able to see it, correct? Now, let's let this play, and I want y'all to hear what he has to say. And as you can see, he's bald too. That's the bottom right corner over there. Now, you'll notice what he has a Q&A going on here in the background. And of course, I'm catching just a small excerpt of this, but he is just one of the people that I watch. And as you can see, I watch a lot of different things of gold and silver to see and educate myself on what they are saying. And sometimes I put that against what I know, what the real truth is, because sometimes these people have an agenda. Like this gentleman here has his own gold and silver company. Of course, he will promote his gold and silver company so that he can make money. He's not a member of 7K. But this one guy asked him, and it's called, at Bald Guy Money Official. My thinking is, out of gold, when an alternative backed currency is created or adopted, thoughts What about you? So what he was asking there is he's saying that he's going to get into the gold and silver, and then when the alternative currency comes in, which is maybe by the BRICS nation or one of those other people, because he talks about that, then I could sell my gold and silver and make a large profit. And he was talking particularly just the paragraph before this about gold and silver stocks. Okay. But here was his answer, and I want you to hear it too. He's going to say it. He says, I wouldn't trust any government to responsibly manage a currency, gold backed or not. Trust yourself, brother, not the government. See, the government has been trusted before because we did have money, currency that was backed by gold and silver. If you can remember, there's some probably on this call that's old enough to remember a silver certificate dollar, right? And what did the government do with it? They destroyed it. They are notorious for that. Fiat currency has a 100% failure rate. Never in recorded history of humans has it ever succeeded. Okay? And it's a fairly new concept. It's only, maybe 250, 300 years old at the max. Up until that point, the only forms of currency in the world was gold and silver. And the nice thing about it was interchangeable no matter what country you were in. Early on in the history of the United States, we didn't even have our own minted gold and silver coins. We used gold and silver coins from France and Spain and some of the other countries, the Dutch. So we use other countries' bullion or currency. So listen to what he has to say about this.
Decision out of physical to read some precious metals experts are putting out there have people convinced that currency, despite the fact that every other country that has used metals as a medium of exchange, whether that's been a gold-backed currency or actually physically trading with the metals itself, has diluted and devalued it in various ways throughout history. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that means central banks shouldn't buy gold or shouldn't be holding gold in reserve. It's quite the opposite. I think they should own gold, and I think they will continue to buy it as trust in the US dollar falters. But I just want to remind you all that just its gold-backed dollar from 1944 to 1971 after the Bretton Woods Agreement, we cannot trust any government with our gold or the determination of the price of that gold. Not only do I think we should keep custody of our own gold, I also think we should insist that the price of gold floats, meaning it can change from day to day as a check and balance to the supply of whether they claim that it's gold-backed or not.
There you go. So he's basically teaching the same thing that I've been teaching now for several years. There is nothing like possessing the gold and silver yourself. My old grandfather, which was a World War II veteran, had given me a lesson one time that has carried on in life with me throughout my life. And I'm now much older than he was at the time that he gave me this advice. He was probably in his early 50s. And he was admonishing me because I was complaining. And what I was complaining about was I'd loaned someone one of my tools and they had never returned it. And he looked at me and he says, son, he says, remember this, if you don't possess it, you don't own it. That just kind of cuts through the chase, doesn't it? If you don't possess it, you don't own it. So that's the same thing he's saying here. The central banks can hold it. The government can say that fiat currency is backed by it, but unless you're holding it, you don't own it. So that's why it's very important that we get our bullion and we possess it, we own it, we know where it is, and we know that it's secure. Now, if you feel uncomfortable with it at your home, we do have a company vault. It is a private vault, and it is extremely secure, okay? So that is an option we have at 7K that very few people know that they have, but they should. And that's that as a VIP or legacy member, you can store up to $50,000 worth of gold or silver in there absolutely free. It does not cost you a penny. And you can liquidate it instantly. You can take and transfer it back into the form of cash if that's what you need, and then put it in your bank and spend it. It's up to you. You're in 100% control. All right. Now, we've covered our meeting. I'm looking over my bullet points here. Then we need to go, I guess, to what we were covering in our previous meetings. I'd said that we were going to start covering Josh's lessons module at a time and breaking them down. So tonight, I'm going to bring us to the one on taxes. And I think that's a good one for us to go. And it's kind of a fiat directly into the one that was just prior to this one. So this will be the follow-up on that. We're going to go into the one that talks about tax implications with gold and silver. All right, before we get into this one, is there any questions that we have? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this one for us, and I will expand it so y'all can see it. Jerry or one of you ladies, Anthony, are y'all hearing it okay when it plays? Is the volume loud enough?
I think the volume's loud enough, Ernest. It does cut out ever so often as it's trying to buffer, but the volume's loud enough.
Okay, thank you so much.
You bet.
In this next segment, we're going to share with you what items are not reportable. Understanding this is invaluable if you're trying to accumulate wealth with gold and silver. So here's how it works. Any purchase through a bank wire, a bank ACH, a credit card, any purchase of any quantity using those mechanisms, we don't have to report it. If you use cash to purchase gold and silver from us, as long as it's less than $10,000, we don't have to report it. But if you were to give us cash of more than 10,000, we'd have to report it to the federal government. It's important to understand there are certain items that are not reportable to the federal government when you resell them. These items are amazing wealth accumulation vehicles. Items such as the American Silver Eagle, the American Gold Eagle. Items that are not reportable. Now you got to think about that. If you sold $1 million of these back to 7K Metals today, we don't have to send you a 1099-B form. Now, it's still up to you and your accountant to figure out the tax implications. But I'm telling you, we will not report it. Why? We're not required to. Items like Chinese pandas, not reportable. American gold buffaloes, fractional denomination maple leafs. Notice I said fractional. 1 ounce maple leafs, we have to report. Fractional, half ounce, quarter ounce, we don't have to report. Australian Perth mint coins, not reportable. Austrian coins, Philharmonics, gold Philharmonics, not reportable. Or the Canadian silver maple. You're going to want to study this chart. If you're buying for wealth accumulation, you're going to want to understand what products to buy so that when you resell them in the future, because remember, you're buying because you hope it's like this beautiful 1 ounce gold eagle. You're hoping that it did what it did in the past. It went from $35 in 1944 to $400 in 1980 to when we started 7K Metals, $1,200 to now currently, this is being shot in 2020, to $2,000. That's wealth accumulation. If you're buying for that reason, you're going to want to make sure you buy the items that are non-reportable. Now, hey, could these be reportable in the future? Absolutely. I'll share with you a little secret of why they're not reportable today. And it's really government ineptitude. In 1986, the law was written that made the 1099-B form necessary. And at the time, they specifically specified every product in gold and silver that had to be reported, spelled out by name, like Krugerrands, gold maples, generic rounds. Luckily for us, the government hasn't circled back since 1986, and they haven't written into the law or made an amendment to the law to include all of the new products around the world in gold and silver. For that reason, the products that you saw on the screen are non-reportable assets. Could the politicians get together tomorrow and change it? Absolutely. But they haven't done it since 1986 and they can't agree on hardly anything. So to get them to agree on this, highly unlikely. So if you're buying for wealth accumulation, it's really quite simple. You should study these charts. You should look and understand them. And you should purchase items that are non-reportable. Because remember, if you're in this category, you're hoping that gold and silver continue to go up in value. You're hoping that 2000 isn't the ceiling for gold and $3,500 isn't the ceiling for silver. And you want to capitalize on that opportunity. And something else that we found, it's not reportable. It's our favorite, our collectible coins, like our monthly autosavers, our variety coins, our state series coins. These are also great wealth accumulation vehicles because they have the ability to go up exponentially in value. And they are not reportable on a 1099-B form. So therefore, any increase you receive between you and your tax advisor on how you take advantage of the increase. We absolutely love gold and silver as a wealth accumulation vehicle. It's unparalleled in world history. It has always outperformed every other mechanism. And the beautiful part, it's real. It's real sound money. So if you're looking to buy metals strictly on a wealth accumulation basis, you can't go wrong. Stick around as we're going to take a look at the next reason why you might buy precious metals.
All right. Did everybody get that? Are y'all hearing me? I didn't get any reaction. I just want to make sure y'all hear me.
Yep, we hear you, Prentice.
All right.
Gotcha.
So did you hear how many times he said that is going to be between you and your tax professional? Because remember, it wasn't reported. Even your tax professional don't know about it. No one knows about it but you. Some pretty cool stuff there, isn't it? That's deep. All right. All right. So I am going to stop our little recording. That's it, Kathleen. Thumbs up on that. I got you. All right. So I'm going to stop our recording and then we're going to have a few minutes. We have about 20 minutes left and we'll do a little Q&A and we'll see if we can answer some questions off camera. So give me just a moment here to get this back up to where I can stop the recording. Stop share. And